Welcome. My name is Tim Edick with Unilock, Ohio, and today we're going to be talking about Unilock's 3D UVision software and giving you a very brief overview of the program and hopefully some of the benefits that it has to help increase profits and accelerate the design process for your business. As we get into this, the main question that we ask is, why use UVision? Why use a 3D design software in general? Okay? A lot of contractors still design, hand draw, CAD, 2D, and it's fine, but it's very difficult for homeowners and your customers to visualize what you as a professional are envisioning for their property. And some of the main components that I've learned over the last 8 years in working with contractors in my region, and some of the feedback I get, is when they switch from 2D to 3D design. The first one is it really helps them maximize the budget of every project. And budget equals profit. Okay, and how it does this is homeowners might not always give you a budget, but they're always going to give you their design ideas and their needs and wants. More often than not, their budget that they verbally tell you, if they do tell you one, is going to be far less than what can actually accommodate their whole needs and wants list. But when you're able to show it in 3D versus 2D, it allows the homeowners and your customers to visualize and see exactly what their space is going to look like, and making sure they're getting the most value for the amount of dollars that they're spending for their project. So I'll go to this in a future slide, but I always like saying this: if you don't show it, you can't sell it. Even though their budget might not warrant a grill island or an outdoor kitchen or a pergola or a fire pit area or a seat wall, if they want it, you can at least show it in a 3D design, and with this program, it's very flexible and very easy to modify. And once those homeowners see these beautiful 3D images, it's much easier for them to kind of inch up that budget and spend the more money, because it's a lot easier to do the project one time than do it in phases, as we all know. Secondly, it also equates to a faster sales process. And how it does this is it allows the homeowner to really visually see what they're getting for the money that they're spending. And through your design process, after your initial meeting, you're able to electronically send them very beautiful 3D images to make sure that you're on the right track with the design, and possibly even send them some budget numbers as you're going through this process. So when you go meet with them that second time, hopefully you've narrowed it down to a very close representation of what the homeowner is wanting and expecting, and you can sign on that dotted line much faster. And as I said before, larger profits come from larger budgets per project on average. And that's been seen over the last 8 years when people switch from 2D to 3D. On average, they increase their job size, and they also increase their profit margin because they're selling the homeowner visually versus just a 2D where the homeowner has to kind of look at similar pictures of jobs that you've done in your portfolio. Lastly, it helps you become the professional in your field, and it helps you stand apart from your competition. Next up, we're going to talk about how to leverage 3D UVision, or leverage a 3D design over a 2D design. So as you can see in this picture here up on this slide is something I used to do. This isn't one of mine, I just pulled it off the internet. But it's a good representation of what the industry does a lot, and I still see a lot of this out there, is a pretty crude, rudimentary sketch of somebody's house. And let's put a budget of this about $30,000. If I'm a homeowner, I'm going to be a lot more reluctant to sign a contract for $30,000 for this, because I can't visualize the pergola, the outdoor kitchen, the planters, the retaining walls, the seat walls, the stairs. I can't visualize what this is actually going to look like. But I'm going to be writing you a check for 30 grand. If you're able to show this in 3D, it gives you an advantage over somebody that's going to be showing it in 2D. It really allows them to interpret what your vision is for their property if you're designing it in 3D versus 2D. Plus, it sets you apart from your competition. If you're competing with somebody that's showing a 2D image like this and you're showing something similar in 3D, more often than not, you're going to get the confidence of that homeowner and the trust, because they're going to really know exactly what they're going to be getting for the money that they're going to be spending. You can also show exactly what you as the expert envision for their property. Again, you take all their needs and wants and you interpret it into a design that fits their house exactly and perfectly for them. And you put in all those different components. And as I said before, if you don't show it, you can't sell it. Maybe they ask for a fireplace, but they know it's out of budget. you can show it very easily. You can do different layers within the program and show them, and you can have it all priced out before you go to that second meeting. If you show it to them, you'll have a much better opportunity to be able to sell those extra add-on features, the outdoor kitchens instead of just a standalone grill area. You know, a built-in fire pit versus a standalone fire pit, a seat wall, or a pergola or structure or something like that. 3D design inspires the confidence of the homeowners. They're more willing to sign that contract if they can see what their job is going to look like versus a 2D rendering or a CAD rendering. Now we're going to do something really cool here. We're going to do a 10-minute design just to show you how easy this software is to use and to show you how robust this software is. And I asked a few people before what they wanted to see in this to try and make it as unscripted as possible. And they wanted to see a pergola, an outdoor kitchen, seat walls, fire pit, and we're even going to throw in a water feature and we're going to landscape it. And we're going to cut away here for a minute and we're going to go into a screen share where I'm going to be doing a 10-minute design, and then I'll see you back on the other side. Well, now that we are here at Unilock's UVision 3D Landscape Creator, we are going to be doing our 10-minute design here. And right now I have a house already built in this program. Again, the houses take a little bit of time, so this is a 10-minute design for the actual patio. And as we talked about before, we're going to be throwing in those features that we had in the chat room, which is a pergola, water feature, seat walls, pillars, fire pit, outdoor kitchen, as well as some landscaping and things like that. I do have a timer set next to me, so we can be pretty legit with how long this is going to take. And without further delay, I will get into it right now. I'm going to hit start on the timer. First off, we're going to put in a step right here, a little 2-foot landing and step. We're going to take the accent rows off. We're going to switch sides. We're going to make this 8-inch. We're going to come in with the little patio right here. We're going to take the border off because it's a pretty tight space. Options, elevate at 6-inch, and that's going to bring it right up. We're also going to start our patio. We're going to come kind of edge of house. Oh, it's backspace 1 right there. Edge of house, we're going to come up 20 feet, let's say, over this way. And let's get started on that fire pit area. So something that's pretty cool with this software is there's a lot of preloaded shapes and ideas and things of that nature, so it makes it very quick. So we can basically go to shape, Boolean add, it adds that right in there. Let's build a couple columns for that fire pit area. And this is how I do the columns. There's 100 different ways to do them. I build them this way, and I've done it the whole time. Just easy for me. Let's copy paste right there. Let's put in a seat wall right now. Make sure our curved spline is selected for that. And basically rotate around our seat wall. Take the accent row off. We have that. Now let's do our fire pit. So 3 foot. Whoop. Let's make sure we have our straight spline on. Off. Let's go to edit points, round corners, make it a nice circle. Shape options, copy shape, patio, shape, paste shape. Let's turn that material to stone for some infill in the patio. Take the border off, so that's kind of the place where our fire and our log set's going to go, and we'll put a log set in there under fireplaces. And now we can kind of shift this over, center it up in the fire pit area side. Couple things, this seat wall we can turn the accent rows off. This we can drop in height, make it more appropriate to what a sunset fire pit kit is. Elevate this up, done. So let's work on the bar now. So I will also go to the retaining wall. Let's go up 10 feet over, let's say 10 feet, 3 feet, 7, close it off. Switch sides. Let's switch the cap to what we call marble or granite, really. There's a few options in there. Take the accent rows off. Options height, 3 foot. And width, just bring it together. Now we're going to go into landscape accessories under outdoor kitchen stuff. Drop in a grill. And you'll notice a couple neat things here with the snap tool on. It automatically snaps to that midpoint. And let's bring that elevation up so it's kind of right where we want it. Let's take this and make the cap more appropriate to granite at 1 inch. Move that back. Let's put a door in. Spin that around. And just like the grill, that will snap right to the midpoint. We can scale this back slightly and then elevate it up. Then accessories, as I was talking about, is a lot of things that we can import too, and I'll mention this in the overview section. But I did, imported all these from the Google warehouse. And that is a little refrigerator. So let's do a pergola now. And with this software, we have pergolas, arbors, and trellises that are already kind of pre-built. You can build them also within the program, piece by piece, and there's lots of different parts for it. Let's make it 12 foot by 12 foot. And let's copy a couple of these pillars and move them over to the okay, let's now do our little water feature. Currently, we're at 5 minutes and 10 seconds. And for this water feature, we're going to kind of put it right here. So I'm going to go Patio, Shape Options, Load Shape. And I'm going to scale this circle down slightly. Kind of split the difference. Put it in the center. Whoop. So I'm going to select this patio, select this, and with the same shape, I'm going to subtract this time. And I'm going to change this material to stone. Even though it's a patio tool, I can change it to stone. So this will be for our pondless water feature. Take the border off, obviously. Let's go to water features, fountains, and we have our little basalt pillars or something like that right here that we can throw in and make a nice little water feature. We can adjust the sizes of some of these to kind of give you 3 different sizes, and then we can landscape around it. So we have the pillars, the seat wall, the fire pit, the pergola, outdoor kitchen, the water feature. Let's do some landscaping. And with landscaping, there's a couple ways to do it. Now, let's say we want some boxwoods right here. Plant, go to Ultra Res. And what's neat with the Ultra Res is you can show them in seasonal color. Let's copy and paste this line, maybe put it right here. Under landscape, let's do some flagstone steppers, maybe to get out of this mulch bed. Just copy and paste as we go over here. And to give you an update, we're at 6 minutes and 51 seconds. We got some liriope here. We're going to put, just kind of fill in around this. Let's go with maybe a 𝐦𝐨𝐤𝐬 or 𝐦𝐨𝐬𝐬. Maybe that goes right here. Let's put in some arbs, and these are pictures that I'm putting in there. So when we get into the walkthrough, you'll be able to see kind of the difference between a picture, an ultra res. I don't use models too much. The pictures and the ultra res do a good job with it. So we got some arborvitae there. Let's go back to shrubs. I'll show you something with the azaleas. Let's say we put some azaleas in right here. What's neat with those is we can change it to spring so it will show the spring color on them. And as you'll notice as I'm putting in these, there's multiple different signs and symbols and artistic renderings that you can do with these plants in the plan view as you see fit. So right now we're going to put in some flowering dogwoods. kind of around this fire pit area. Let's do 4 of them. And those are CAD symbols here. We're going to select them all. We're going to make those nice and flowering in the spring here. We're going to go to pictures. Let's put in some roses maybe. Maybe some shrub roses. Or we can do maybe some double knockouts. Just to give some nice color around that. And right now we're currently at 8 minutes and 37 seconds, so I got to get hustling here. Let's do some black-eyed Susan maybe as a perennial. And then maybe some Liatris or something. And then we'll fill in these little pockets here. And now we can do our little, oh, you know what? I want to do one more. We're at 9 minutes and 13 seconds. And we're going to do the region here. Which is the mulch bed that we're putting in for this design. 9 minutes, 32 seconds. We'll be done here in a few. There we go. And stop. So what we have here is a beautiful 9 minute and 43 second design. And everything's in full color, looks beautiful. Let's go into our walkthrough presentation so we can kind of show the homeowner what it's going to look like. And with this, you know, again, we don't expect you to be a 10-minute design guru and right out of the gate. Like, obviously it takes some practice. But we have a nice water feature here. We have a nice pergola over there. We got a grill up with beautiful flowers, trees, landscape, some great arborvitae screening, and you can change the heights and the sizes of all the plants. But you'll notice with those pictures, they're exactly that. It's a 2-dimensional picture that rotates with the camera. So here we have it. The 10-minute design is done, and now we're going to get back to the presentation. See you shortly. Really, how amazing was that? In just under 10 minutes, about 9 minutes and 47 seconds, 9 minutes and 50 seconds, we put a design together. And after talking to some people after I finished this design, it's around, you know, let's say $50,000 to $70,000, okay? Prices range in different markets based on what materials you use and things like that. But in under 10 minutes, we're able to put together a very quick concept for a homeowner to visualize. And I'm not expecting you to be able to do a 10-minute design and sell it right out of the gate. You know, it takes some time to learn the software and get proficient with it. But it just allows you to see how easy the software is to use and how robust the software is and how good it looks. So now what we're going to get into is kind of an overview of the program itself. You know, the 3D UVision software that you can purchase from us is great for 3D renderings, but it also allows you to do 2D plan for your guys out in the field doing the construction. And it's all to scale. You can choose your scale, you can choose your page size and all that stuff. In the presentation process, you can also show day and night. So you can upsell your homeowners and customers on outdoor lighting, step lighting, path lighting, uplighting for the landscape and things like that. You can do walkthroughs and very high resolution video fly-throughs both day and night. And with just some simple editing software, you can kind of merge those together and really make the experience for your homeowners second to none when it comes to presenting your vision for their property. It's extremely versatile also. It works well with Google SketchUp and Google SketchUp Warehouse, the 3D warehouse. So anything that's created in the warehouse, you can actually pull in and import into the software itself. You can also import CAD designs, DWGs, PDF files, JPEGs. It also allows you to pull in Google Earth images that will be to scale. So if you want to take a quick region and you want to scale that off for a sod or a seeded area, or maybe even just to get a basic idea of lot lines and perimeters, you can import a Google Earth image very easily. You know, it does take a little bit of time to learn the software, but it's not crazy. In the last 8 years and working with a lot of contractors, traditionally it takes about 2 or 3 hours a day for about a week. And then you'll be proficient enough to actually start using the software and start presenting with it and really seeing the benefits that you can get in presenting in 3D over 2D if you're not currently using a 3D software. So where do you buy it? You can go right to our website and purchase the software. You get a downloaded copy right then and there, and you get a mailed hard copy to you so you can put it on 2 devices. I always recommend a laptop and a work desktop, or if you have 2 laptops. It works very well for that. The website also has additional information on the computer requirements, which isn't crazy, but again, the better the graphics card, the better the output, and the better the rendering capability is going to be for those high-resolution pictures and video walkthroughs that you do. So how do you go and learn this software? Where do you go to learn it? On our website in the UTech Center, we have a ton of awesome training videos. We have 45 right now, very short step-by-step instructional videos. And what these are, they're very defined. How to build seat walls, how to build a retaining wall, how to build an outdoor kitchen. So you can go step-by-step, pause and play as you're kind of working with the program and learn these different aspects of it and kind of self-teach yourself a little bit. But also, as Unilock has done for many years, as we always have a tremendous amount of in-person support. Definitely rely on your territory manager. Most all of our territory managers in all the regions have some familiarity with the UVision software and can help you through and help you learn it, whether it's through a virtual Zoom meeting, potentially an online training class that we may have coming up, or even an in-person training class that we have coming up. So definitely communicate with your local territory manager to see if there's any 3D training classes coming up on the schedule, either virtual or in person. So right now we're going to go into some questions, and I really appreciate the time today, and hopefully this inspired you, if you're not currently using a 3D design software, to possibly think about it for the next season coming up and getting this kind of incorporated into your business and your sales process, because you will see it pay dividends for you and your business. Again, thank you, and we'll take some questions.